Come on, guys.
Let's do this.
I love the look of this door.
Wow, I really
Dude, I can't even wait. I can't even wait.
What's about to happen right now? Damn, it's so different. Oh my goodness.
Holy shit, this place is blowing up.
Hey, this is Subcool WeedNerd.
And Ms. Jill.
Get your bowls,
and your bombs.
your pipes, your vaporizers.
And your big fat blunts.
It's time to get high with the WeedNerd. Well, I'm a weed nerd. Just call me smoke a lot. Don't give me that, me don't want that crack. Now we know what they got. Weed nerd. Nothing but the high grade. So won't you come my way? So won't you come my way? Weed nerd. Just call me smoke a lot. Don't give me that, me don't want that crack. Now we know what they got. Weed nerd. Nothing but the high grade. Smoke a lot of herb, smoke a lot of herb.
Come on, weed nerds, let's all get down to that old school sound with that K-Lou pound. Put seeds in the ground, tilling up the dirt. Shovel in my hand and I'm putting in work. Weed nerd, connoisseur, growing the killer. In the backyard with the mountain gorilla. Game spiller, fill another, what you think? Miss Jill's got tips on growing the dank. Cheese plate, Aldo, Indo funky. Time wreck, hash laced in my blunt sleeve. Skunky, smelly, space bomb sticky. Stepped in the dough, got the whole team with me.
Well, welcome. I'm Subcool.
And I'm Ms. Jill.
And it's time to get high with the Weed Nerds. Welcome to the Weed Nerd Live Show.
I have a big nug of Time Wreck here. You can pick up this clone over at Alpine Alternatives in Sacramento.
When it's ready.
When it's ready.
When it's ready.
Should be just a few more weeks or so.
Yeah.
So why don't we go ahead and load them up?
We got a pretty cool show for you guys tonight.
I was going to ask chat what everybody was smoking on tonight over there. We know Miss Jill's got Time Wreck. I've got some Cosmic Glue right here. Some fucking fire. That's all I can say about this straight. What do you got there, Sub?
Well, you know, it's kind of, well, I am smoking rosin. You'll love this little container I have. So you can't see it. I have these little sections where I scrape it off. So I have black cherry soda. I have cheese. By the way, cheese is fucking epic. UK cheese, squished, hard to work with. Tastes really, really, really good. And the cherry pie OG, and I mentioned this before, we'll talk a little bit about more squishing. One thing I want to tell you guys is you would think that it would take like the most resinous trichome bud in the world to make good press, and it does. But oily, thick indica strains make really good oil too. Yeah, the OGs. So,
Like cherry pie. Good.
So tonight on the show we have John with Quest Dehumidifiers. He's going to tell us all about commercial type dehumidifiers and different products that came out, and he even hinted that they have some stuff that they, and you know, on the Weed Nerd we like to talk about stuff we can't talk about. Also tonight, Andrew with Biotactics is back with us. Andrew is with the company that supplies predator bugs. They donated bugs to the garden outside, and I was just letting you know there's nothing alive on our plants. There are no pests or anything out there. Some spiders, but the plants look fantastic. And so I want to turn it over real quick, though, to Minnesota Nice to tell us about this week's charity and tell us about Growing Together.
Yeah, so I just want to thank everybody for last week's donations. We raised funds for Jayda. Jayda has vanishing white matter disease. Malik is going to be able to tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah. We got expert joints in chat right now, actually, and that's he noticed Jayda selling lemonade even with her very rare neurological condition, and she was raising money for herself out there, and that's how she got noticed by the cannabis industry. And with the help of everybody, we raised like $700 last week. So this is crazy, and you guys rock. Thank you so much.
Boom. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it, and I have to give a huge shout out to BP Alpine, Alpine Alternative. They did a donation jar for us this week. The first people to step up to the plate to do this for Growing Together, and absolutely awesome. I have a feeling that this paved a great road for us, and this is going to bring many more into the ring. And, you know, I have to tip my hat to Brian and say thank you very much. I know Jayda appreciates it too, so thank you.
I don't want to leave Shayna out of that because Shayna actually does a lot of the collecting and the keeping track of the monies.
Yep.
Thank you, Ms. Jill.
Awesome. And and I also wanted to mention real quick, you know, it's if you guys want to participate in this Growing Together, it is a great thing to do, but it's also a good way to get your shop recognized. I mean, the Weed Nerd Nation is growing strong. we'll talk to him in just a second. Lickety split TGA Will is in there. I mean, this guy's blowing the internet up. So you get on our team and everybody's going to know about you. So
and Will's a donator too, you know, and
Absolutely.
most of the people on the TGA team do donate back to charity as much as they can. And, you know, there's lots of shops in the world. You know, if you have a handful of shops and they all sell really great product, let's go to the one that gives back to the community.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and yeah, shout out Alpine Alternative. Oh, by the way, yeah, I've got you doing it and you're going to get your bucket. It's non-BP. I have been saying that
Shayna
since I
will
met the
kick your
guy.
ass.
And you know what? You know what? I corrected myself. I did stand corrected because I heard you do that for so many episodes, Subcool. You know, you got me, man.
It's terrible when you get something stuck in your brain that you can't get out. So yeah, shout out again. If you guys want to participate, let us know. I want to spend just a second. I'm getting off the script here. Nobody knows about this. Just talk about the charity garden. The charity garden's going to go on big time. The one thing we've learned this year, especially in Northern California, there's no help. Everybody's growing as much cannabis as possible. Everybody's trimming their own damn weed, and everybody's making their own damn hash. So I got a good idea. Me and Jill and Badger are going to be trimming about 40 pounds.
You know, and I want to point out too that our garden is already flowering.
Yep.
Cuvée is a very quick to start. The trigger's quick, so she starts early and she finishes early. So if you were looking for a quick early finisher, I would recommend Cuvée for sure. And nervous about this whole harvest thing. I'm so glad we're turning most of this into hash.
Yeah, me too. It's when you're small people and you have that much weed growing in the backyard, it gets a little nerve-wracking. And the other thing I wanted to talk about real quick is how many people, and I'm going to open up the mods real quick. How many people on the panel tonight have heard two things? Early flowering, so everybody's triggering this year, and no stretch.
Yeah, short plants.
I mean, are you guys hearing this?
I'll get out, but
I'm seeing it. I'm definitely seeing it across a couple people.
Okay.
Yeah, buds are popping up on Instagram pages already. So.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree.
Are you budding? Are you budding, Sid?
No, but it's getting close to everything's flipping over structure-wise. Everything you see it stacking.
You know what I do want to point out?
Good.
I do also want to point out our plants in our garden are flowering. They have trees and such that cause a shadow at a certain time in the evening, so they do lose their light a little earlier than other people's plants may. For example, I have a plant on the deck, and it gets full sun from the time it comes up until the time it sets behind the trees. So it gets probably 4 more hours of light. The other plants do, and it is not flowering.
And that's exactly what the chat is telling us. Everybody, flowering in New Mexico, full flowering. So it's something weird. We don't know. I mean, I don't know. The planet's laying down. I hear old folks talking about the sun's low in the sky. Who the fuck knows? But hey, we're happy. It looks like we're going to have bud in middle of September. So
yeah, whatever it is, we're going to beat out the rainy season this year. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Muffin Man says in the Deep South they're flowering already too.
Isn't that crazy? And you know, I got to tell you, it is something weird because, dude, the sun comes out here at 5 o'clock in the morning and doesn't go down till 9:30. I mean, for real. But everything's going on. Hey, Malik, I wanted to kick it over to you a little bit. You don't get a lot of chance. Malik's always working behind the scenes. Of course, he is the power moderator of multiple shows. How was your week? And tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Super good, man. I harvested, so I got everything harvested, the new plush berries, the MK Ultra times Locomotion, all the Galactic Garden Testers, and in their place, I got the Tinto de Verano, some Raspberry Smash, some Orange Cookies times Dude, and this is all getting flipped in like a week. So to clone, staked, and we're off to the races. I'm stoked. It's going to be a hardcore run.
Let me tell you, the test results are coming in on that Tinto de Verano. I put some up on Instagram last night. It is exactly what I wanted. A very stable, bright strain that creates an enormous amount of resin. Probably got 15 test results in now. It looks like it is going to be a keeper.
Oh,
definitely.
Wow.
And before we kick it over to our first guest, I want to go over a little bit about the Tester Network. It's something that I spent a lot of time on, and I'm going to get even ruder about it. If you could believe Subcool could be ruder on his show. So what we have is we have some new strains. We always have new strains. I mean, I got a fucking bucket full of them downstairs, guys. I don't even bring it all up anymore, okay? What I'm looking for is people that know what they're doing to grow these strains out. to take notes and to give me a report. And that is what I'm looking for. What I'm not looking for is 30 emails to ask to be a tester. I don't need 20 follow-ups. It's really simple. If you know what you're doing, you're going to send me an email that says, hey, Sub, I want to be a tester. And I'm going to send you this little form, and I'm going to ask you for 2 pictures. And your reply back better be really simple. That form better be filled out on something that you grew in the past, a couple of decent pictures. And in the email, you need to portray to me that you're not a fucking idiot. It's really that simple. I'm going to,
you know, and it's really that simple. When I say it in a post or when we talk about it on the Nerd, when we talk about the release, I start getting PMs. Well, Jill, I tried to send Sub a PM, but he didn't answer me. How can I become a tester? Well, if you can't follow instructions, you know, it's really, really important to follow instructions if you want to be a
so a little simple, a little anger. You email me. I'm going to send you a form. You fill the form out. You turn your brain on. Send me an email that says, I want to test. Probably not going to do it. Send me an email that says, hey, Sub, WeedNerd here. Been growing 30 years. Growing cocoa, growing bio, growing soul. I've grown a couple of your strains. I have a camera. I can take pictures. I have an Instagram account. I know what you want. Dude, he couldn't get a pack of seeds faster, right? But the people that take 10 emails to do that. So I want to belabor the point. If you would like to test for us, don't, by the way, don't send me an email from fucking Nova Scotia or Japan, or I'm not dissing other countries, but we're going to send these to medical states where people can grow them out. While it's attractive to send a pack of seeds to Norway, come on, dude, it's a long way away and I'm not supposed to. So I just wanted to cover that. Thank you guys for putting up with my little rant. So we're going to get right into it tonight with John Pratt Jr. is here tonight. He is with Quest Dehumidifiers. And unless you live on another planet, every single large grow that you see on Instagram or social media right now has got these big-ass Quest dehumidifiers with a little Q hanging up in the ceiling. So obviously these guys are taking the storm. So, John, if you would tell us a little bit about Quest and the history behind the beginning in the cannabis industry.
Well, the beginning is kind of interesting. So an understated or unknown thing about our company is our ideology of build good products and the customers will come. Not trying to push things on people. We're engineer heavy. We're very focused on making really good products and supporting those products. And we've been doing that for a really long time. And about 6 or 7 years ago, we weren't in the cannabis industry yet. And about 6 or 7 years ago, we started seeing some sales happening in some states or some areas where we know that humidity isn't an issue because we're in other areas of humidity control. And whenever we started getting these sales, we're wondering what's going on. Why? We know it's really dry in Arizona and California, so what are they using them for? So when we figured it out, it was at that point we dove head first. Cliff, the head of our division, really spearheaded this whole thing and made sure it was a priority that we understood the industry, what they needed, not just trying to sell dehumidifiers, but trying to provide a solution for their humidity problems or humidity issues. Oh man, I can't hear anything.
You're muted, Sub.
How long? Yeah, I got it.
Oh, sorry,
How long have you guys actually been in the? Well, let me give you a little background. So I don't know if you know me, John. So my dad was a heating and air guy. My grandfather was a heating and air guy, and I'm a heating and air guy. So I worked for the Train Corporation for many years. I did VVT, volume control, zoning. Started getting into dry plate dehumidification and clean air right as the industry's changing, and I started growing mass amounts of weed and got out of the business. So the reason I told you that is I actually understand dehumidification and stuff like that. So you guys obviously started a long time ago. And so how did you, where did you get started? Tell us a little bit about the company's origins.
It's so still to this day, there's a little bit of discussion on how it exactly started. The company started around 1973, if I'm correct. We've been around for quite a while. We actually started in heat reclaim for big freezers for like grocery stores. We had this idea of reclaiming the heat, the offset heat from those units that they used to that for their freezer department, and then gave them free heat for their hot water for their butchery department. That kind of evolved into, oh wow, this thing actually pulls a lot of moisture. Maybe we should design something specifically for that. So we were kind of on the leading edge of efficiency and dehumidification way back when. Yeah, that's kind of how we started.
Well, I'm jumping off a script here. The one thing that I noticed, because I actually follow you guys and I watch shows and everything, and I'll tell you that me and Jill's room here is not big enough for a Quest. I know you guys were talking about a small unit, and I want to look in that. I came up with a cool new saying that the panel don't even know now. Me and Jill make our living in an 8x8x8 box. Isn't that fucking cool, dude? While you guys have greenhouses and while people are growing acres and 8x8x8 box.
They don't take a lot of room.
They don't. But having said that, the other day I was really impressed when you were talking about the dehumidifiers that we use. We buy the nicest dehumidifiers we can buy that fit in the room. But you were saying they're incredibly inefficient. They use a hell of a lot of power.
They put out a lot of heat.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And versus the Quest units, which use less power and produce less heat. Can you expand on that, please?
Well, we have some of that stuff is patent. Some of that is patented technology, but one of the things I can say is a heat exchanger. One of the things that is patented technology, but I can talk about it, that helps us gain our efficiency. It helps pre-cool the incoming air before it hits the evaporator coil, so it can pull more moisture out without using the same amount of energy. Yeah, we're extremely efficient. We're actually the most efficient in the world. Dehumidifiers are rated in pints per kilowatt hour. So how many pints can you pull out of the air versus 1 kilowatt hour of power used? And right now the record is 8.8, and that is held by our 105 dehumidifier. And actually, I'm sorry, go ahead.
What is the floor space, or are these able to be mounted up on the wall? How much room do these take up?
They vary. So our most popular versions are about 2 feet by 2 feet by 3 feet. 3 feet long, 2 feet high, 2 feet wide. But we are coming out with a smaller one, significantly smaller, in the range of 70 pints. Not quite sure when that's going to happen, but we are coming out with it, and it's going to be about 1 foot by 2 feet, so about half the size. But yeah,
you know you're going to sell 1 million units, John. You do realize
size.
that.
That's the size of an average Frigidaire dehumidifier. So are these the weight of them, or are they going to be light enough that they can be mounted on a shelf so they can be up out of the way? Because what I found the problem with a Frigidaire dehumidifier is the exhaust fan on it blows hot air back onto the plants, and it actually has quite a bit of blow. So it burns not heat burns the leaves, but repeated, blowing of warm air on the leaves will burn the leaves right in that area, or any bud in that area. Well, what is the deal with yours? So the fact of the matter is all dehus put off heat. It's just a factor of dehumidification. And it's physics, right? So whenever you turn a vapor into a liquid, it takes energy, and that energy is released as heat. Also, the electrical requirements of any machine creates heat. So with that said, we recently, within the last month or so, we recently released a new dehumidifier that doesn't. It kind of works like a mini split AC, but it's a mini split dehu that actually puts off cold air. About 4,300 BTUs. I like that.
It's really cool.
That's amazing.
Qualifier, yeah.
What is the weight on them on a 70 pint, or just a little bit larger?
The 70 pint. I don't know the exact weight offhand, but if I had to guess, it would be in the range of 60, 70 pounds.
Me and Jill will volunteer to beta test that unit, please. So let's talk now about, we have a lot of weed nerds in the house, but we wouldn't be doing our job. 284. By the way, I know Minnesota Nice is fucking cringing right now, so let me do my job. So this show supports Growing Together. In the old days, you just clicked on the little super chat button, and you are welcome to donate to Super Chat through my show. and I will get the money to Minnesota Nice and Malik. But handling the money is a pain in the ass. So we set up the website Growing to Gather. So you can go to Growing to Gather website. The guys will post up the link right now, and you can go donate directly to the site. Just expand just a second. The reason I do that, I mean, you guys know I am. I sit on the internet and yell fuck all day long. I didn't want to touch the money anymore. So I put it in the hands of Minnesota Nice and Malik. So I can act like a retard, and I can raise a lot of money for people, and I can still be Subcool without touching the money. So I don't mind you donating, okay? Absolutely. But go to the website and take care of it. I want to shout out to Andrew Biotactics. He just did $500 to Growing Together. And that's what it's all about. It's
Oh,
really
wow.
awesome.
Dude, I'm gonna cry over here.
Go check out.
So,
I know, right?
thank you, man.
Go check out.
Well,
I
you guys
Can I
helped
say
raise
something?
that money, so
love you guys, man.
Amazing.
oh my gosh.
So here's the deal. And this is one of the reasons that I am so happy about Minnesota Nice heading up Growing Together. The first time we were on the show and I did something that made me choke up, I saw him choke up. I could see it through the screen. I was like, oh, dude, he's got a big ass heart. And then the second time, I think we had somebody on the show. Hell, he couldn't even talk. He's crying so bad. And I like, this is the guy. This is the guy to put in charge of helping kids and people that are sick. So thank you very much for that.
I just love spreading. I enjoy spreading love to everybody. You know, like that's what I'm here for, is to spread joy, spread love. You know, send positive vibrations everybody's way. So, and Growing Together is exactly what we want to do. And
it really makes such a difference in the amount of people it reaches. You don't realize it now, but it really does, guys. It's crazy.
I want to tell you guys, I got to, well, you know, I'll get the card on break. I'll go find that. Can you find that card? Where's that card?
It's right on the coffee table.
Is it? Okay. I'll grab it in just a second. I got something I want to read you guys, but let's get back to John, because I'm screwing this all up. When Jill gets back with this card, we're going to have a cry moment. But so we want to talk about dehumidification in grow rooms. Before I open up the mic to you, I want to tell you guys a secret. People get mildew in their grow rooms, and me and Jill don't get mildew in our grow rooms. We never have. And that's because I come from the heating and air industry. When I build a grow room, the very first thing I do is I put air conditioning, dehumidification, air control, or I do anything else. A lot of growers go at it backwards. They hang the light and then they think about something backwards. So it's been crucial for me and Jill to not get mildew through the years so we didn't lose our 20 or 30 strains. When people ask me questions generally and they say, what's up? I'm growing XYZ and I got mildew. I go, well, because your fucking room has got too much moisture in it and you're not removing it.
And temperature even. Concrete floors also cause an issue in the winter.
But
isn't
with
it systemic
humidity,
as well?
we can... Systemic, yes. Once it grows,
PM?
it can be systemic.
Once you get it.
Yeah, once you get it. So the key is not getting it, i.e. interquest dehumidifiers.
Yeah.
And so the primary role in dehumidification is removing moisture. If you are in a grow like me and Jill run, every 3 days we go in and put gallons of water into the room. It has to transpire out through the plant, wicking out through the soil, goes in the room. That shit will transpire onto surfaces and ruin shit. That's why we have to have dehumidification. So I actually was supposed to ask the question. I'm just rambling on, but that is why focus on humidity control along with other things like temperatures and light. So
and fans. We want to keep a lot of air movement.
So I want you to talk about what you see in the field, John. You see some big ass buildings with a lot of water put in them. So kind of tell me about the application of dehumidification, commercial growing greenhouses, and light depth included, if you don't mind.
Yeah, there's a wide variety. There's the big thing I'd like to hit on is that there's a different need of dehumidification per space. So I've seen big spaces that have a little amount of dehumidification and they're great. And then I see the same size space that needs 10 times the dehumidification. There's so many factors that go into it. How well sealed is it? What is the environment outside? How much are you feeding the plants? How big are the plants getting? The exact transpiration rate of each plant. All those are factors that can change your humidity load in a particular space. That's one of the big things as far as varieties from place to place, even in same sizes that I see. Whether it be greenhouse or indoor, I see a wide variety, and each person is different. So don't if someone tells you that this particular space needs this amount of dehumidification, call us first. We'll help walk you through it, exactly what you would need, and if need be, we'll come out there.
Yeah, because like a humidistat is probably the most important thing on top of having something to control that.
Yeah, you want to sense it.
Just turn it on and let it go.
Yeah, you want to sense it, and you want to sense it from different zones too, right? You don't want to sense it where the AC is pouring out, right? Because that's going to be cold, dry air. You want to sense it where the plants are coming out. You want to sense it ambient. There's a lot of things to think about. We pride ourselves on environment control, so when we walk into a space, we see the environment. We don't necessarily see all these other things that people see, like what type of lights are there. We walk in with our hygrometers and we're looking at dew point, relative humidity. Those are things that we focus on.
Now, John, me and Jill discuss often, and I've often had this discussion with the weed nerds in the heating and air business. You have to size an air conditioner and a heater properly. If you oversize an air conditioner, it will short cycle. So my dehumidifiers in the area here are sized to run. They don't shut off. I run around 55 to 60% humidity where I want. Now, if we were to upscale and oversize the dehumidifier to take care of the capacity, am I correct in thinking that unit could short cycle? Sizing is important, correct?
You could not be more correct. I'm really glad you brought that up. Because ACs do a great job of environment control in general when they're dialed in right, is the caveat. When an AC is dialed in correctly, it's going to run for a long period of time to get you where you need to be temperature-wise, thus giving it the ability to pull moisture at the same time. If it's oversized, it's going to get the room exactly where it needs to be within 10, 15 minutes. That coil is not getting cold enough. It's not running long enough to actually condense moisture onto the coil. So in an ideal scenario, we're not saying that we're going to take place of an AC's dehumidification purposes. We're saying that we're there when your AC isn't going to pull moisture, i.e. when lights turn off and it's cool in the room and the AC doesn't need to run. That's where you need a dehumidification.
May I ask, I understand on the air conditioner, the reasoning why you don't want to go too large and the cycling off, but with the dehumidifier, if you're going too large, if you have it set, like say to 55% humidity, wouldn't it just go to 55% humidity and anytime it gets above that, or does it also cycle the same way as an air conditioner?
It'll cycle the same way as an air conditioner to achieve that set point. But when it's oversized, it's going to cut on and cut off a lot. You're going to see a lot of spikes. It's going to look kind of like what we call like a sine wave. You're not going to see a very stable setting. So and a lot of that cutting on and wears out components. They are man-made machines, and the more you turn them off, on and off, it wears them out. So you want it to cycle on appropriately. Yeah, and we can help with that side.
When I have ran continuous.
So I want you guys to know the professional just agreed with the shit I tell you guys on the show. Stays the fuck on. Because if you turn your compressor off 10 times a day, you're not going to be happy.
Yes, I actually had to buy one that was a little bit larger because I tried to go small in my flower room and it wasn't quite keeping it low enough. It was running about 8% higher than what I had it set at continuously. So I got one a little bit larger and it still ran continuous, but it was keeping exactly where I wanted it.
So I want to, can you tell us, we kind of covered this, but I just want to give you the chance. What makes Quest dehumidifiers different? There's a lot of companies out there.
So I can put it simply as efficiency and quality. But there's a lot of subdivisions underneath there. Well, I already covered that we're the most efficient. Quality, unbelievable amounts of rechecking before a product goes out. R&D, we've spent millions in R&D before we come out with a product. Another thing that separates us is how we rate our dehus. So we rate ours at AHAM. That's another thing to consider when you're shopping for dehus out there. Make sure that they're rated at the particular setting that they're supposed to be, which is called AHAM, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 60% relative humidity. To put it simply, a dehu in the desert is not going to pull the same amount as a dehu in the swamp. You want it to be rated appropriately. And you can put 200 pints on a little tiny dehumidifier and say it pulls 200 pints. But if you put it in the swamp, yeah, I'm sure it will do 200 pints. But put it in a more realistic scenario, it's not going to pull 200 pints. So make sure that you're getting a correctly rated dehu, which is where ours are rated.
Right. So they were talking about the other night on show when I was paying close attention. Yeah, if you stick your damn dehumidifier in like the nicest conditions possible and test it, yeah, that's kind of shitty.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
So you've mentioned once, and some new things are on the horizon that you can't be super specific about. But what's new on the horizon for Quest? What direction are you guys going?
Let's say we're going larger and smaller.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't know when, but we are going smaller and we are going larger. How large we go, that's TBD. But like I said, we have invested millions in R&D to make sure that what we come out with is right for the industry. So stay tuned.
Well, I see a lot coming. I talk a lot about it. In fact, I'm going to stop talking about it so much online about the transferring of from the medical to medical recreational going on in California right now. We see big business stepping in. We've talked about this for a long time. I can tell you that the amount of money that you have to spend to be legal where we live is astronomical. If we do so, we will spend our entire life's fortune to get legal in California. My point of this is I see a lot of people going to home growing. I mean, weed right now in California is back up to $400 an ounce. Rosin's $100 a gram. This stuff is very, very expensive. And as big business takes over and little business moves out, I think you're going to see a lot of people, especially in California, Washington, the places where we've already been growing, setting up small grows. And they're going to need that little 70-pint Quest dehumidifier. And they're not going to order that piece of shit off of Amazon basically once a year, we buy new dehumidifiers. We don't even wait. We're like, okay, it's been in there a year. It's fucking going to break soon. So that kind of stuff.
For example, if you live in a place like Oregon or Washington versus a place like California or SoCal, that thing's going to wear out a lot quicker.
It's crucial.
Because working its ass off.
So that's where I see a lot of it going. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the big stuff. I mean,
So some people ask, why do I want to spend so much on a dehu? And they equate it to like, I can just buy a cheap weed eater that'll break every season. But the value of your product that you're producing is so much more. It's so critical. You don't want a failure with something that's this critical. It's worth investing in.
I can't believe you went with the weed eater analogy, because let me tell you the weed eater story. So me and Jill are not farmers, and she came from a farm of horses, but anyway, I'm basically an island beach kind of guy. We're some semi-domesticated. So when we bought this 3-acre land, and my 3 acres is no bullshit, dude. Like if you go out on my land without the right kind of suit, poison oak will fuck you up, rattlesnake will kill you, some animal will eat you. So it's no joke. So I go up to Home Depot and I buy a $110 weed eater. Man, I fuck that fucker up in like a week. So I go back to Home Depot, I buy a $249. That one lasted a month. So now, just so you know, you can't buy a commercial weed eater from Home Depot. Like all of the weed eaters at Home Depot are made to fucking tear up. So you actually have to go out and buy like a $800 or $900 weed whacker. Now, first one, $100. Okay. Now I'm in the $1,000. Now my weed whacker don't break. So the analogy is the same. If you buy a piece of shit dehumidifier, go ahead and have a couple on standby. You will laugh because of
a vacuum cleaner's the same deal. You know, you buy a vacuum cleaner for $125. That damn thing's gonna be broke in a year if you're lucky. So you need to spend $400 and get yourself a shark.
Well, everything's like that in the grow room, basically. Every time I've ever tried, you go to the grow room, have things on the shelf, right? Right? You guys have done this 1,000 fucking times. You go up there and you're like, okay, 15, 29, 59. You generally buy the cheap one and it fucking breaks. And then you go back, and if you're cheap like me, you buy the middle one, and then eventually you buy the expensive one. It happens every single time. We bought 3 water pumps before we bought the right one because I'm a cheap fucker and didn't want to spend $200 on a water pump.
I like to go onto Amazon because I like to read the reviews because people are brutally honest.
And if you go read the reviews on Quest, great segue, baby. Nothing but good stuff. What I can tell you is when I look in these big buildings of the people I work with, like Heroes of the Farm, DNA's Big Houses. All you see hanging in the top is Quest. So you guys have definitely done a good job. John, I would like to thank you very much for coming on the show. I hope you'll hang around. We should have time tonight for no stupid questions. So
you know, I think John should have we should have a hit together.
I think so too. You up for a dab or a hit there, John?
I have to apologize. I cannot. Unfortunately, it is my fiance's birthday, and there's a party going on in the other room, so I'm going to have to bounce. I apologize.
No, it's
next
good, man.
time,
Thank you.
please. I'll be glad to come on anytime.
Thank you, John. Go, and thank you for coming on while your wife's having a party, dude. You're gonna get your ass kicked. Get up.
You guys wanted me on. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for having us. I'm glad to be back.
Thanks, John. Thank you very much.
Alrighty.
That's Quest Dehumidifiers, John Pratt Jr. Thank you very much for coming on the show. All right, so everybody get their towels out. So he's in the channel right now, fucker. He's an official fucker. So Josh St. Croix's in the channel.
Everybody's a fucker.
Everybody, if you're a weed nerd, you're a fucker. It's just the
Josh,
way it is.
he called you a fucker.
Yeah, you're a
That's what
fucker.
you can do.
Yeah. So okay, so we you guys through the Weed Nerd Nation, you guys help this man out. Josh is an alpha one, just like myself. He's a little bit ahead of me. He's actually on the liver transplant, lung transplant list, and the heart transplant list. He suffers his ass off every day. His O2 is like 88. So he's, you know, if I'm this far above the water, he's this far above the water. So choking to damn death. So we came across each other, and we raised a little bit of money for him in the Weed Nerd Nation. And we've also befriended him, and a lot of you guys have befriended him. Got him some genetics. He's grown a little bit of weed, stuff like that. Anyway, and sent this damn card to me, and I'm going to read it to you guys, and I'll cry. So here you go. Hey, Sub, I just wanted to start by saying thank you. Before I met you, I knew of not even one other alpha. I felt so alone. When you reached out to me, all of a sudden, I felt like I wasn't the only one. But then I was broke and stuck. Only one to help me. Lots of people made promises, but you came through. We didn't even know each other very well, but you still helped. I felt so alone when I had to move my wife, kids, and I to California. He had to move from Hawaii, just so you know. He knew everyone in Hawaii. Now he only knows one person here, and he was a total ass. Since you and cared enough to reach out, several other weed nerds reached out, and thanks to you, it feels like I have family. Broke, sick, and far from home. But thanks to you, I haven't run aground, and I don't feel so all alone. My son made 2 bracelets. He made one for me and one for Miss Jill to say thank you. And we have them hanging on our dresser in the place where we do that stuff. If she will wear it, I was going to send her a cute little silver one, but she thought it would like the paracord. So ours are right together. Things we have are. I love you guys so much, and I so appreciate the Weed Nerd love. I'm so grateful for your friendship. Thank you. We love you and Miss Jill, and our love and aloha from Josh, Senior, Junior. So that's what you guys do. I get the praise quite often, but just so you guys know, that praise was directed at all of you guys because I couldn't do what I do without the Weed Nerd Nation. I'm generous, but my money would have run out a long time ago. So thank you guys so much for that. I want to go into a couple of things here real quick.
Cheers to Josh.
Yeah, cheers to Josh.
Cheers, Josh.
While we're getting high here real quick, I got a couple of little business to do with Malik here. So if you would, we've got a couple of contests going. We have the Blue Planet Nutrient Contest. And I have to give a double shout out to those guys. They basically hooked me up with a lot of organic nutrients. And then they came on the show and they saw that we were actually using the damn nutrients. And they sent us 2 more boxes of nutrients. So the charity garden is being fed for free on the house by Blue Planet Nutrients. Huge sponsors. We really do appreciate it. And we have a contest going with them tonight.
And the garden is looking amazing. You can see the results. I was talking to Badger, and it was he's using it with the teas and everything. It's doing great. We have even
elaborate a little bit. I'm sorry, Malik. Just to elaborate, we had a plant in the back that was fading, and when the nutrients came in, we started feeding their cycle. And so all Badger's doing is mixing it up just like it says on the bottle. It's like 115 mils each of the organic products, and we're still using Grow and Bloom as per the directions. and that Marionberry in the back corner that started flowering and turning yellow, greened up. So sorry to cut you off, but it works.
Oh, you couldn't support a better guy. I mean, the way that he runs his business and the way he did everything and the way he came up is so amazing. And also the quality is there. You can see MedGrower 1 and Mr. Tight, their results with Blue Planet Nutrients. I want to run them myself soon. But he's not only is he backing us up in the charity and providing probably a few packages over the next few weeks, but we have a WeedNerd Bullet 696 that reached out to me and gave a $60 voucher for Blue Planet Nutrients as well. So some growers are going to get lucky and get hooked up, and this is the perfect thing for smaller grows and bigger grows.
So I understand we're still waiting on a reply from Ed Weigel. Did I get that right, Malik?
I don't know who Ed Weigel is. Remind me.
It said last week's giveaway. We're still waiting on a reply from a contest.
Oh yeah, yep. We're waiting on a reply from Ed Weigel for the 3rd place for a T-shirt and stickers from Green Shock, Mark Gray Shock.
Yep.
Cool.
Now,
And we still got that big bag of stuff in the back room. Malik, if you guys want to put some stuff together, the stuff that Jill put together, whenever you guys, they'll be safe and sound, and we want to give them away.
Yep. And I just want to let all the Weed Nerds know that anybody who won a prize last week or donated to Growing Together, I have not got your stuff in the mail yet. I was waiting till the week's end to close out on everything. We will be at the post office Monday morning getting everything in the mail for the contest winners. And I will be sending out some of the hemp cards to everybody else who donated. So those will go out Monday for everybody. So
what a gift from the American one, right? Did you see all that shit? That huge box of stuff I sent you, bro?
That's awesome. My buddy donated cash to Growing Together just because he wanted one of these packs, and he opened it up, and man, they're awesome. Like,
They are cool.
Well, I was hoping, if we want to directly auction these things, that this is what the American one told me when he sent me all the stuff. Because I'm gonna tell you guys, I did something a little shitty. I got to tell you, I don't do much shitty in my life, but I did. A couple of the things he sent in the boxes were really fucking cool. And I said, well, can I keep these? He goes, well, I sent them to you, sub. You can do what you want to with them. I was like, cool. So the rest of the stuff we're giving away, but there's a little hash jar. It's this old vintage hash jar. I kept that. Cool. That's cool. And I kept this one book. It's a hash book. So I did keep a few things, but the rest he told us to use.
Well, it was kind of like we kind of confiscated those pillows.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The pillow. So, by the way, Minnesota Knife's wife helps a lot behind the scenes in the show. She actually helped put the script together this week.
We need to really give her a shout out because
we're
I'm tired of the way ladies being left out.
So they made these awesome pillows out of a couple of T-shirts, and you got to understand a lot of stuff comes in things in the back counter. But anyway, the pillows just never got getting away, and they kind of made their way to our couch. So we have a Mendo Dope and a TGA pillow. So that's kind of the stuff that can happen. If I really like it, it might go out. Sorry, guys.
It's him, not me.
All right, guys. So thanks. Shout out to American One for all those awesome donations.
He's awesome.
Make sure you guys. I want to real quick, Andrew, if you'll stand by. Jill likes to get out of here in the first hour because she likes to go do stuff.
Makes my back hurt.
Makes her back hurt really bad. We've learned. So we're going to go ahead and get Miss Jill in the show before break, and then break tonight. We'll be doing Weed Country by Mendo Dope. So I just want to go over a couple of things real quick here with Miss Jill. So we talked about the Queen Anne's Revenge. Did you know we already saw germinated plants growing?
I have seen that. I'm so excited about it.
I mean, my God, that's like
behind that Queen Anne's Revenge because, you know, we didn't have the blood wreck for many years, and I got it back from Danny Grimm at Uplifted Farms. And it was one of the first females I actually ran. And so this time I brought her from Oregon, and she was going to make some more Chernobyl, but we ended up crossing her with the Space Queen male. That's what he had here. And as we combined gardens, so she has a little bit of travel history, so it makes the seeds a little more exciting. And we're really excited to release these. I think it's going to be a very stable, ready to go strain.
I think so too. Blood Wreck has been really good to us. By the way, Minnesota Nice did me a little pop-up. I wanted to make sure you guys know Mr. Excitement over there. If you haven't seen Andrew on cam before, the dude is about to explode over there. I guarantee you. He will be doing a demonstration with his bugs after the break. So you guys don't leave because you will get to see live bugs fucking some shit up. So
does he have hypostasis?
He has all kind of stuff. He's got a screen and a microphone, a microscope, and He's got some cool ass bugs. So.
Yeah, I like to see.
I got toys.
Well, you know,
lots of toys.
He got toys. When he sent us the bugs that are hard to find, the easiest way to find them is to pour them out in your hand and stare.
Or get something white.
And then they start. Well, white really helped a lot. All right. The charity garden. I wanted to talk a little bit about the strawberries, and this is unscripted. So I'm not dogging Badger. Well, maybe I am a little bit, but I already have. Okay, so when we put the dry amendments on, Mendo did this really cool video of throwing.
Word.
And Badger used a cup. It's not easy to get in underneath the plant, so he piled up the amendments and killed some of our cover crop. He is a little bit like a bull in a china. So anyway, so some of our cover crop died, but your strawberries are kicking ass.
Yeah, fortunately he didn't get any on the strawberries. There's several strawberry plants that are actually have a lot of green berries on them. There's been a lot of red berries that we have not been down there to pick. So I see them dead on the vines. But
now I'm not a farmer when it comes to fun. Yeah, I'm not a farmer on outside of weed. I grow weed. That's all my life I grow weed. But I'll tell you, if you haven't had a hot strawberry from a pot garden and your wife walks up and pops in your mouth while you're working, it rules, man. It's tasty. Doesn't taste anything like one on the vine. Oh, so let's talk about the indoor garden. You've got it on point, yeah?
I do. I'm really excited, getting ready to pull down some time right this week and then again in a couple of weeks. I've got a couple kosher tickets. They're looking really good. They're coming in, I think, 38 days or something of that sort. Looking really good. The kosher ticket is kosher Kush.
It smells just like Chernobyl to me.
It's DNA's kosher Kush. They crossed it with our Chernobyl, which was the golden ticket pheno.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm actually seeing is I have one of the kosher tickets that's a seedling that looks identical to my Chernobyl seedling. Obviously, the blood rec was really strong, and that must be I must have had the golden ticket pheno of Chernobyl because they match. So anyways, I also have a purple Afghani that was gifted to me from a good friend, Dodo Loco, in Oregon. And I would really like to cross that with the JTR male because it would be a very, very medicinal plant. This is the little one that I've got growing for sub. It's actually very pretty. It's got quite a bit of, I can see the black starting to come out. It's dark on the leaves, that kind of thing. It's actually very resinous. It comes in at like 29 days today, I think.
It's really nice and it's
very
definitely different.
And it's got a lot of dark coloring under the leaves.
It's kind of cool. We budded this plant right out of the gate just to see what's going on. Yep. So this is new.
It's freshly rooted clone, just budded it.
Black. That's what I want to see. I wanted to give a shout out to Res Made Genetics. $5 donation to the WeedNerd show. You definitely help with the cost of mailing and all the stuff we do on a daily basis. So what do you think about squish?
I think the squish is awesome, but I also want to go back. I just had some locomotion become available at Organican, and within the next week there will be some Chernobyl available at Organican. So if you're interested in either of those, that's in Santa Rosa on Todd Road, and next down would be Time Wreck after that. So we'll just keep it coming. Pretty soon it'll be Space Queen.
We're not big flower producers, but if you want to taste Miss Jill's flowers, she mentioned Organican, natural cannabis company, but it's kind of cool how they work. They have 3 shops. So when we drop there, the Oakland Organics down in Oakland gets a little bit of flowers, and Medican up in Hopland gets a little bit of flowers. So as you guys know, our flowers are handcrafted, water only. The cleanest grow room I've ever been in my life. So anyway.
And right now I have a big Pinot running for sub that will become a hash plant for him. I'm really excited about that too.
Yep. I'm pretty damn excited about that because I'm gonna squish some.
And I've got I got some blood wreck ladies getting ready to be flowered out for they're actually flowering now. They're gonna be seed females. They're gonna make some more time wreck, and we'll also have some kaboom, and we just finished up some flav. So we have that back in stock again. I'm really excited about that.
Excellent job.
So the squisher, you're asking, oh man, I love the squisher. It's really awesome. I think Sub's got it pretty much figured out. I like it a lot better without the bags. It seems to work better.
But I'm going to tell you, I want to get some bigger bags, get maybe 90 or 125. We're using the hash bags, and everybody tells me that
it's getting stuck. The product.
It's getting stuck in there. So definitely learning a lot more. I like the free squish.
So about 180 is what you're doing on the temperature?
No, I'm at 200 now.
200 now?
And what I do is I've been watching. By the way, it's really cool. You can turn on Instagram chat, and you can work, and you can read the channel, and you can learn stuff, but you can also get fucked up. You got 10 different people telling you how to smash rosin. one guy's like, don't use the bag. One guy's like, use the bag.
Well,
I was like, cut it over.
And the other thing is, you don't want to just get parchment paper from the grocery store. It doesn't work as well. You want to actually spend some money. I just got you some oil slicks. Some oil slick is pre-cut papers for it, and a mat. I'm excited about the mat. They're nice.
All right, so you guys put this next question on here, not knowing the discussion me and Jill had last night at 10 o'clock. So the timber lights are on the cobs. They are 3,500 Kelvin, which is red budding light. They are over the 3 blood Rex and a little bit over the Jack's cleaner.
Well, the Jack's cleaner is really not under them. It's about a foot away and down. So
what do you see?
What I'm seeing is now that I've put them in, they've been in flower about 5 days, I guess. Every single one of the 3 have got a weird leaves on not the entire plant, just a few random leaves here and there, but on all 3, I would say probably 5 leaves if I would have to guess. And they're burnt. And I believe that it's kind of a yellow-brown burn, and it couldn't be nutrients that quick. It couldn't. It's from the light. They're not used to being under that type of light. And what I've actually noticed is plants that are under like a regular MH and then a regular HPS, if you put them under these ceramic metal halides or the cobs or there was another type of light, they don't like it. The only other type of light they seem to like, if they're used to those types of lights, would be a regular basic fluorescent, a gas start type fluorescent. So,
so you think there's going to be a small transition?
I think so. And if it's going to continue, I probably won't continue to use them just because I don't want my plants to look
See
like
what I'm
that.
dealing with? The entire industry is using LED cobs. And so we'll continue to monitor that project and see what that goes on. And I will be looking at that growth too. And I want to shift back too, because we hung the ceramic metal halide and we got terrible results with that light.
I think these just need to be up higher, like maybe even closer, a foot away from the ceiling maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they should be the same height as a regular HPS from the plants. I think they need to be like 3 feet higher. So that would be my thought.
So we'll move them up about a foot.
At least a foot.
I like that idea a lot. And we can talk about that a little bit on the height of cobs, because I am very interested in that. And last but not least, I mean, the fungus gnat situation is completely different. And the reason I bring it up is because we continually bring soil in. Okay, yeah, you can help with that. Well, you know what? You actually do. Because she started with somebody else, but she uses, what do you use in the soil? I use the hypostasis mites. Yep. And she's always using. And I use those every time I do a group of plants transplant into the 10-gallon pots. I always go and order a couple of 1,000 of them, I think is what I get. And the soil actually comes with fungus gnats already in it. So there's really nothing I can do about it but fight them in veg. By the time I get to flower, they're completely gone. My flower room has no fungus gnats. But, you know, and it's super easy to overwater the veg, although I don't have the issue like Badger does. I have to be careful with the freshly transplanted plant. It's almost wet longer, even if you're not overwatering, it seems. So what I do is I use the hypostasis mites. I use the yellow sticky cards. I make sure I keep them clean. I have them in every single plant. And I also like to keep my fans blowing right at the top of the pot level. So the fungus gnats actually can't even get into the pot and land. So you see them when I first took over this garden and there was an infestation of them, I could see the mites, the fungus gnats walking on the floor, fans on the wall, but they couldn't fly and get into the pots because the fans was knocking them around. Okay. So that's also really good.
And that's what the hypoaspis eat.
What's that?
The pots are where the fungus gnats lay their larvae, and that's what the hypoaspis eat. So if you have no larvae, then you have no adults. So the sticky chaps will get barer and barer.
Right. Yep.
Well, it's been completely, I can tell you when she came here, I had gnats on the walls, and we don't have gnats on the walls.
They were using the gnat mix, and what a fucking mess that shit is, excuse my language, but I would never use any of that shit. I just don't like it. I don't like messes, and I think you just need to control your environment.
Awesome, baby. Well, go ahead. What'd you say?
Control it naturally, because they're like when you have a good compost, there's going to be food for the gnats. Beneficial fungi, all that stuff, and that's food for them. They're fungus gnats for a reason. So if you have something that can live in the soil, they do like highly watered soil. So if it gets too dry, they're going to want to leave. So if you can get some in the soil, when you first see any gnats, chances are you're not going to see any more flyers. But your traps are going to get barer and barer because nothing else is going to get born.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take a small break. Everybody go to the bathroom, get something to drink, load your bowls. We generally smoke more weed on the second show. I know Miss Jill's going to take us out.
Yes, yeah, we're going to have to go out with a session here.
So as we go on break, everybody type in the channel what you guys are smoking. We hadn't done that in a while. Make that channel rock and roll. We hadn't seen that in a while. So we won't do guess the number anymore because that breaks the damn thing. But tell us what you guys are smoking tonight.
Yeah. And speaking of gnat pins, if somebody wants a gnat pin Subcool, they can still get one at 6shirts@gmail.com. Is that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, I'm going to lower the price. That's kind of how you do stuff with gnat pins. So I was asking 20 and we're just donating the money. So I'll drop them down to 15. So if you guys want to put $15, it's 6shirts@gmail.com. Let me go over something real quick with the 293 people real quick just before we go on break. I do not have a PayPal account for Subcool. I do not have a PayPal account for TGA Genetics.
You do not have a bank account for Subcool.
You guys that are out there donating money to my Gmail account to Subcool and TGA Genetics, I cannot get the money and I cannot refund your fucking money. So stop putting money into accounts that I don't mention. The account is I get these emails like, you have $42.50 in your PayPal account, Subcool. I'm like, well, Subcool don't have a fucking
please
PayPal.
set up that PayPal address. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's actually 6shirts@gmail.com. If you've put money in one of the other accounts, I can't give it back to you, and I can't send you product. You'll have to contact PayPal. I don't know what happens when you send money to somebody.
Need some jelly bean? TGA Will. Lickety split.
Lickety split. Anyway, take us out, Miss Jill, with Bong Hit. Tahoe OG, Master Kush, Wax, Madman OG. Lots of good stuff in there. I'm smoking this weird gooey shit that gets all over my computer. Thank you very much. Well,
some
double take.
Alien OG.
Alien OG. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm diving on some of this Tinta de Verano you gave me some a long time ago.
Oh, you still have a little bit, huh?
Oh, it's delicious.
Me and Jill smoked the last bowl this weekend. Oh. Awesome. All right, guys, we're gonna take a we're gonna take a quick 4 or 5 minute break. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Yeah, I grown up in a weak country. What am I dealing with Babylon? I try to stop it. What am I preach?
Whoa, Mendo Dope. Whoa, DJ Ignite. Whoa, and Windstrong.
It's been a long time. We there in the weak country. We come for one. We no want no informer on ya in the weak country.
Born and raised, we are rooted in the Emerald Tribe. It's a way of life here, and we telling them why. Legalize weed, CBDs, keep them alive. But to the feds, cultivating is a felony crime.
Support my activism, I'm taking hits like Kenny Estes, Brownie, Mary, and Eddie Left. Let me get this out to the sick so they can live. Felonies are being committed while doing this.
Mendocino is the county I'm stepping in. The risk that we take just to bring them their medicine. We veteran growers like B.E. Smith, Weed Country, Northern California, Green Tree Gift.
Nick Black, induced this, edibles, cannabinoids, healing in different type of forms. You don't believe me, hidden treasure, no pressure. Wanna try it yourself, you'll feel better.
It's been a long time. We there in the weak country. We come for one.
It's a natural herb, a medication prescribed by God for this earth. Observe, it heals the pain with these strains. Mixing my soil and growing high grade organic. No pills cause they killing me. Originals, Mando, Humboldt, Trinity, outlaws. Living outside the law. Doing it for the patient, I stand, won't fall.
Grace to Trinity, my first granddaughter. Original granddaddy's strain is much darker. Many try to replicate the market that they devastate. My country, weak country, don't tolerate a new face. It's family and we protect it with our faith. This is where I'd rather be instead of pill popping all day. Livers just rotting away. Veganics, ahead of the game and always. We're weed country renegade.
It's been a long time. We there, in the weed country. We come for one day. We no want no informer on ya in the weed country. True farmer man, stand up for your right with all your might. I've been praying to see that day. Police control, instrument of death. Farmers living in constant fear. The game is told, solidarity goes both ways. It a go trade in a Babylon. Babylon fill out the meditation. At the healing of the nation. The farmer man them need a new formation. It's been too long. It's been too long. We there, in the weed country. In the weed country.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Subcool, you're muted.
See how good my people are to me, taking care of me. Thank you guys for hanging out during the break. A little Mendo dope is always good for the soul. We're going to get back into questions with the panel in just a little bit. TGA Will, Mr. Lickety Split, is hanging out on the panel tonight. I just want to give him a shout out. He will be with us in just a little bit after we get to the bug demonstration. Make sure I cover everything. Shout out to Galactic Gardens. They are one of our new fledgling breeders. They have a couple of crosses going out right now. We have the AK Loco. We also have the Black Lime Time Loco, and also a Sweet Skunk Time Vortex. A couple of new things coming down the pipe. So keep your eyes out for those testers as well. We were talking about the Queen Anne's Revenge earlier. We also have Black Dahlia. We have so many things out there on the menu right now that you wouldn't even believe it. So give us a shout out if you want to test one of our strains and do a good job. So it is time for one of our favorite guests on the show, Andrew with Biotactics. He is our resident bug expert. He's been on here a couple times before. So tell us a little bit about your company, what you do, and how predators can be a benefit to us.
Well, we're a family business. I'm the owner. Jose. And my master is what I call him. He's here today. Come say hello to the world, Jose.
Can't see nobody.
Squat.
Oh shit.
All right.
What's up, Jose? Good to have you with us, man.
Good, how you doing?
He's the one that fills all the bottles that go out to everybody. So
so how do you work with these little teeny bugs? I mean, I can't even see the things, man. How do you get them in the little jars?
You go by counts of small amounts, and then you extrapolate it to a large amount. So if you have an eighth of a teaspoon and you got 2,000 and an eighth of a teaspoon, you extract that out to a kilo. You know how many you have in of straight material, and we're the only ones in the world that can that can grow in or that can rear predators in a lab environment. So what we do is we're in like a 4x4 room that's ideal for each particular predator, and each particular predator that we rear has its own ideal growing, or I'm sorry, ideal conditions for eating and reproduction, because like they only have 3 main goals in their life: eat, mate, and eat, reproduce, and hunt. So when they're done eating, they lay their eggs. So you get, when those hatch, and if they're in the right conditions, you'll get that generation, as well as the hunting activity that is conducive to your target pest. So we have right now we have 6 here. I have some here. Can you guys see that?
Pretty good, yeah, pretty clear.
Yeah, that's some cannabis. I'm gonna move that out of the way. So Quest was on earlier. They're dehumidifiers, right?
Yep.
So they reduce the humidity in a room, which is what you want in a flowering room. So if you have spider mites who love hot and dry, you want to have a predator that is that can reproduce in low humidity, high temperature environments.
Oh, there we go. Right there. Hold it. Perfect, Andrew.
Here are a few laundropies. People call them long pipes, but they're being attacked, or they're attacking 2-spotted spider mites. Can you guys see that?
Dude, I'm itching. I'm literally itching watching.
I'm about to crawl out of my monitor right now. That's all I can tell you.
Oh, dude, that's creepy as fuck.
That's dead.
That's awesome.
That's an empty egg. So they're all these guys are about to be laying eggs. Look how active they are.
Dude, that is awesome.
And there's empty eggs.
You guys do realize while we're trying not to get spider mites, this guy sits around and raises spider mites so he can feed them to his evil fucking dude. That's a sick shot, right?
Nasty, right? I love it. I love it.
It's awesome.
Release the hound.
Wow, that's like some alien movie or something.
So that's
dude, that is awesome.
So that's laundropies, long pipes, whatever. You want those for spider mites in low humidity and the ideal environments for growing cannabis. Persimmons, which is a favorite of, we're on about 10,000 acres of strawberries in California. I don't know if you guys know, California produces 90% of the strawberries in California. Or I'm sorry, 90% of the strawberries in the U.S. And we're on a lot of those. This is persimmons. They look similar.
Wow.
They look similar, but they need a higher humidity level. See, all these are dead here. Here.
Okay.
See if I can zoom in on some actual murder action here.
Murder action. I love it.
That one.
Man, they're fast.
Right now.
That's gnarly as shit, dude.
Dude, we're just watching the
Andrew, dude, can I tell you? Can I tell you what you need to do?
There you go.
Andrew, you need to get really fucking stoned one night, and you need to get a bunch of these really good clear shots, and you need to mix them with some fucking death metal and put it up, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta do it. We'd all watch it.
This is like a mosh pit from hell right here.
Yeah, this is death right
You're
here.
just
This is,
fucking them up.
Yeah, and this is a natural process. It's not.
Right.
It's not. I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't know if you guys can see them crawling all over. So what you want to do is match the predator mite with the growing condition and your target pest. So
let me ask you, Andrew. So if you were treating, say, and I'm just going to make shit up for the hell of this. Let's say you had a garden in Florida,
Yeah.
Because that's high humidity, high temperature versus a garden in Colorado, which is going to be, lower humidity, lower temperature. You actually would use a different type of bug.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially if you have like super high temps with low humidities, this is the one that you want. That one of the ones that we've been selling out of actually this season, the Occidentalis, which goes after russets. So they prefer spider mites. They all do, but that's it right there.
Wow.
That's what you got. That's what Mendo Dope got, along with some Californicus, which is native.
So as Peter S in chat would call that, that's Mike Tyson.
I love that. And
so Andrew, can you tell us what happens so my garden right now is it's fairly clean if you inspect it. We're just entering bud.
Yeah.
So would you reapply this time in the season?
See, I don't know if you guys can see this. We have a bag method now. Instead of directly sprinkling the predators directly onto the plant, which is what you would do in early veg, or right after the flip, you actually would hang one of these bags, and then that way you have, an additional slower release. Like there's no food in here, like with other companies, like they'll sell sachets or whatever with food inside. These don't have food inside. They're hungry and they're ready to go. So if you want to do a sweep of your plant right before you flower, you're going to want to hang a bag after you do a small application of each one of these, or whatever is conducive to your growing environment. I've been working with strawberries and mint growers for years now, but what I found is that using a native predator that eats more than just spider mites, like Fullest, that's native to Oregon. It eats broad mites and hibernating russet mites. So inoculating your landscape around your growing environment with Fullest that can handle the winters, because it can overwinter, also known as hibernate, along with the pest, but it overwinters. That guy's spazzing out. They overwinter after the pests do. So while the russet mites, broad mites, and spider mites are all sleeping, these guys are still going. So they'll eat them up while they're sleeping, wake up in the spring before the pests do, and then it's a preemptive attack. And then you only have to do a very small application during growing season. So I'm probably lowering my sales by doing this, but it's better for you guys by using their biological factors, using what they do and how they live in the most beneficial way possible. You'll get better results. Well,
now I'll tell you, Andrew, I love this idea, and I want to remind you, I would like you to get the charity garden hooked up this week if you can. But I really like the idea. So I don't think you've seen the charity garden. So the charity garden is covered around in oak trees, and I know mites live on oak trees. So I actually love the idea at the end of the year of treating our garden patch with some predator bugs that are going to exodus outward, kind of into the local fauna. And am I getting this right? They're going to move out and start eating shit, right?
Yeah, because they'll overwinter inside the bark, even not just in the soil. They'll the pests and the predators will hibernate inside the bark. So if you have something that will hibernate later on in the season, it's just you're just giving them sleeping ducks, you know. So
and if you guys are looking for Andrew's bugs, the link is in the channel. It's bimonite.com. Yes, they sell to the public. They do a great job. The product comes easily packed and easily distributed. So I had the guys put up a really cool question here, Andrew, that I would have come up on my own. So I can tell you that we have a couple of strains that bugs love. So the orange strains, they freaking love. Lemon strains, not so much. And I've always kind of was terpenes, but can you tell us why you think, because you see a lot of bugs, some plants are attracted to some bugs and then other plants are not?
Honestly, I know that the predators follow they don't have eyes, so they follow a pheromone that's released when the plant is being attacked by a pest. So there's a pheromone release that they have these big antenna feelers that are like noses. So I don't know I don't know if anyone really knows why, you know, russets will attack one strain in a greenhouse. Like they'll be on like 3 plants out of like 90, and for some reason they'll attack those ones instead. They have a goal, which is to consume. I know spider mites consume the chlorophyll. That's why you see the yellowing dots in on the leaves. But as far as russets and broad mites, I think the jury's still out on the cannabis because nobody's done any real scholarly research on the cannabis plants because there's so many different strains, and there's the legality factor. But if you have something that is known to eat those particular pests, they're living in the environment that they're born and bred to live in, you're going to get results. Bottom line.
Awesome. Well, I love the idea, and I want to go back just a little bit to with the gnat thing with Jill. Jill was vehement about applying those Nemesposis miles and taking care of the garden as we talked about, and it worked. So we actually know that the predators work. I mentioned to you guys before the start of the show, the charity garden there's 12 huge plants in my backyard. We have no IPM. I don't spray anything on the plants. If you guys know how I grow, we let the plants grow themselves. We'll give them teas a couple times a year. We clean them up, but there's nothing on there. So the only thing that's ever been done to that garden is beneficial bugs from Biotactics. I have to ask this question. It's been asked 3 times in the chat now, poo. And WeedNerds will kick my ass if I don't ask it. Poo. Yeah, let's talk about poo, bro.
The biggest thing you have to worry about is the pest poop, because the pests actually poop.
Yeah. I've seen mite shit, and it's fucking gross.
Yeah,
it's gross.
Right here. I'll show you right here.
So here we go, mite shit. Only on the WeedNerd, electronic mite shit. That is mite shit, okay?
Yeah.
We do not want to smoke mite turd.
If you look over this entire leaf, you won't see any.
The predators have to shit, so what happens? I mean,
there is no predator mite shit because it's microscopic, and most of their energy that they consume, from eating pests is going towards laying eggs, and that's what our mites are known for, are laying eggs. and they'll eat twice as many eggs of the pest than they can lay per day, and also lay 4 to 6 eggs of their own. So there's not as much poop as in like a pest, because they lay eggs, but they have, like, they're the bottom of the food chain, so they have more poop.
It makes sense. Higher metabolism, higher energy bug, less fecal matter. We'll go with that. So I can tell you this, no joke aside. If you had to choose between an infestation and a predator, take the predator every day, because it's an easy way to work, and you don't know the time I come from, Andrew. So I've been doing this a long time. So in the old days, before, I'm going to make a joke, before you hippies came about, we used fucking Avid indoors. And if you spray Avid indoors, you will twitch. And I am not joking. So back in the old days, before I knew about my lung issue and before I cared about my health, we used to fill up pump sprayers with fucking Avid and spray it. I'm going to go back even further and probably make everybody on the panel pass the fuck out. I mean, dude, I've sprayed some really rancid shit in my grow room when I was 15, 16, 17 years old. I didn't know any different. So we went to the fucking Ace Hardware and we bought whatever, fucking malathion or whatever kills bugs, and we sprayed it in our grow rooms. And to be able to use some simple predators, not put these contaminants in our body. And there's another thing about treatments that people don't know about. So if you use heavy duty pesticides like Avid, like Floramite, and you don't get all of the mites, their fucking offspring become the Borg, and they will assimilate your garden. You get an Avid resistant mite in your garden, the only thing that kills him is a fucking shoe. So I urge you people to look into the predators. Stay away from spraying this nasty shit in your garden, and you'll have a lot happier garden. And when you're spraying pesticides, all you're doing is isolating the naturally resistant percentage of that particular mite or pest. So those ones are going to reproduce. So you're pretty much breeding you're breeding out the resistant ones. So you have to keep switching up or keep spraying as the eggs hatch, because I don't know one pesticide that is legal even on like even Avid doesn't touch the eggs. The predators eat the eggs for breakfast, and they'll keep eating and keep laying eggs and keep just keep doing what they do, because they only have like 3 functions. Awesome. Well, dude, you are a very interesting guest. We can't thank you enough. I hope you'll hook up with me later this week. Well, definitely we need to make sure we take care of the charity garden as we enter flower. And I love the idea of treating these. Andrew, thank you very much. I hope you'll hang around for later in the show for questions. Yeah. Can I introduce somebody? This is Dave. Hey, if I don't answer the phone, it's going to be Dave. I've been training him how I know how to do things. So if I don't answer, it'll be him. And feel free to tell him whatever you need, and he will give you the same info I will. Cool. Dave's not here, man. Y'all heard it here. Awesome. Thank you guys very much. So I'm going to show you guys something that came up last week, and I know I can remember when I was new in the business, and how exciting this kind of stuff can be. So I'm going to show you guys. Let me cue this up real quick. I'm going to show you guys Moore's brand new cannabis cartoon, and it's going to be a perfect segue into our next guest.
You know, these clones, they're dumb as rocks. Like this guy. He's got shit for brains, but he can jam like nobody's business. Show him what you got, SFB. Hot damn. Hey, go smoke that joint again. Then this here dude, hey, clone dude, come here. This dumb fucker can't figure up and down. But I call him the Rhythm King. Let her rip, TRK. call bullshit. Go get my YouTube channel shut down, son. You know, clones kind of suck ass. I'm gonna order up me some originals. I know. I'll order seeds from TGA Will.
So, Rob Moore.
I need some killer seeds, buddy.
Just got some killer seeds, son. They're too killer, though. We need to test them out first.
Is that right, Mark?
Yeah, sure is.
Let's get those little fuckers out of my shop.
Okay, Rob, gonna set them out right now.
What the fuck? Hey, hang on a second.
Lily from TGA Will.
Love pretty killer seeds. Hey, you good shit. Terminate us. Whoa, fucking awesome. Gee, Rob Moore, understand it. This is gonna be great. Ow, you little shit.
I'm sorry that shit gets
Oh, that's so awesome. I love that. Shout out to Rob Moore, dude. He's badass.
Sure. He killed
Rob's the man.
stuff, you know?
If you guys missed it, so I'll tell you guys a little story. So I was about, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I was on my Instagram. You guys know I use Instagram like a fucking Twitter or whatever, a hand widget. And I noticed that Crockett had an official rep. And I was like, well, shit, we need an official rep. So got hooked up with TGA Will, and I'm going to be straight about this. TGA Will is outworking everybody in the fucking TGA organization. So that's just simply said. We have lots of people in the organization. They're awesome. You can get gear all over the place. You know, we distribute globally, but got this new guy here. He hustles. We joke that he's going to get a fucking drone to get your ass some beans. So not quite there yet. Will, how you doing tonight, brother?
Hey, not bad. How are you, son?
Good, man. I really like your new commercial on Instagram.
I don't even know where he comes up with. Oh, my. Yeah, for sure. You like those?
Yeah, it's slick, man. I thought it was very classic.
No doubt. Yeah, I hope. I even asked Mendo Dope if we could use all the music and all that. So everything is super cool.
Dude, you're awesome. So I think it's really cool because one of the things that has hounded me for years in this industry is people come on and they simply don't know how to get my gear. I mean, I have this giant website that you can order from. We have distributors all over the United States and Europe, and Attitude, Hemp Depot, all those places. But people still have a hard time. Will is lickety split, and he generally is in the channel with me when I'm doing a live broadcast, when I'm doing a Wake and Bake morning show, and he's right there. So get your beans from TGA Will 24 hours a day, pretty much. If the guy's awake and you text him, he's probably going to be there on his ass. And he is setting some big things up. So you've got some stuff going on in down your way. You want to tell them about the shows you got coming up?
Yeah, we got Earl Cup Vegas in October. We're doing another tour tomorrow in Kingman, Arizona. It's about 4 hours away, but I think it would really be worth it. They're a new shop, or a new grow for a shop in Chandler, Arizona. So that's going to be pretty cool. We got a lot of locomotion and Jack Skellington, and Purgatory is like probably the hottest thing on the block for me right now.
And Will gets first line testers from TGA since he's so busy. Obviously, I'm going to put the new fun stuff in Will's hand. So, you know, he's going to have all the hot promotions.
Can we see it?
Check it out. Yeah, Time Traveler.
Yeah.
And for those guys that don't know, that don't follow the whole TGA organization thing, Heroes of the Farm is a friend of mine that I've known for a long time, Pat. He's a breeder with TGA. He also has his own thing. He is probably one of the largest cannabis growers in Oregon right now. Legal. He's got his fucking cannabis producer's card. When I talked to him the other night, he had 9,000 plants budding legally on fucking camera. So he can pull up his phone, look at his 9,000 fucking plants flowering. We're lucky to have him because he creates stuff with the dog walker, stuff from, if you guys follow the culture. So you got Pig Farmer, you got Phil, you got Pat, and you got all those boys that kind of work together, and they work with the mystery, the hippie crippler, and all that greasy stuff. And we're lucky enough that he's actually released some of it in tester form. Now, make no mistake, Heroes of the Farm will have their own gear as well that they do not release to us. But like one of the things we have right now that's so interesting is the secret. And I joke around with this a lot. People want to know what the secret is. Well, I can't tell you what it is because it's a secret. But what I can tell you is this badass proprietary genetics that they got a hold of, and we're lucky enough to have them in our stable. So we're happy to be testing all those things. Neil Cassidy, the Catalina wine mixer, the dog walker crosses, the hippie cripplers. So I just want to say how lucky we are to have this guy breed, because trust me, he does not need to breed seeds for TGA Genetics anymore. He's got multi-million-dollar greenhouses. So, but the friend thing continues on. I spoke to him the other day and he's doing really good. Speaking of genetics, we have in stock now, the Flav is back in stock. That's a strain that I created many years ago using the Romulan, and Duke Diamond was nice enough to pass it back to us. So we really do like it. Pinot Rita is ready. It's not actually in my hand right now, but North Star Genetics has harvested it, and using the cool little zigzag machine that we have, they've got those kicked out. Also, I mentioned Chernobyl's in stock. Crazy Train is also back in stock, so pretty much getting stocked up. Kush also is in now. So we use the summer months while everybody's growing cannabis to build up our stocks and replace everything. And I want to turn it over to, I think Malik can help us with this. Can you tell us a little bit more what you guys going out there with the Tasmanian skunk and the other stuff?
Yeah, they got a badass vortex that crossed into everything. And the vortex for the Tasmanian skunk is into an island sweet skunk. And this island sweet skunk is badass. I tried some extracts of it at the hash bash, and it's like racy, like it's almost dangerous to where how much like you start to get paranoid and shit. You gotta be careful with it. So I imagine that cross with vortex. Come on.
Jeez, dude, you're gonna make some people
crazy,
do white out. Yeah, you're gonna have that fucking fleshy, sweaty thing. If you guys don't know, if you guys don't know the story, when we moved to California, I met Matt Rise, not Rice, but Rise, and we started Academy, make our hash and stuff. And so I dropped off some vortex trim with him. And one morning he was on the way to the farmer's market or whatever, and he did a couple of quick dabs of the vortex and got in his little Prius, and he's at the stop sign puking on weed. You know, so yeah, it is that strong. So if you guys are telling me this Tasmanian skunk is racy, you guys are creating some rocket fuel out there. So that's going to be pretty interesting for morning smoke.
Oh man, hey, into the AK-47 and a bunch of stuff. So yeah, that vortex crosses are going to be sick.
Speaking of, so I have a little bit of extract here, which is really nice. It's
oh, nice. Was this a previous squish today?
No, this is actually something that Skunkworks gave to me. He makes a lot. He sees a lot of bud. He processes a lot of stuff. So he brings me little samples. Now, it's kind of funny. My friends generally won't leave BHO around my house. They just don't. Most everything in my house is solventless. But when it's really pretty, he'll leave a little bit. And I like to share it with everybody and stuff like that. So that's pretty badass. Malik, what's going on your grow room, buddy? You just harvested, right? So what are you running next?
Yeah, man. I got Tinto de Verano, 2 phenos. One is kind of shorter with a little bit wider leaf sets, but still super vigorous and reaching out like this. And the other one that's big is doing the Hanukkah bush thing. Like I'm hardcore, only topped it once. Oh, it's sick. It's the tallest thing in the grow room. Like it's already like 6 foot tall, the Tinto de Verano. And the bigger pheno has like shorter leaves and some purple going through its stem, and there's no deficiencies or nothing. So like it's areolas, so guys, the areolas are purple.
I'm happy, man. I mean, I like it. The Pinot Noir is a strong strain. We didn't know what we get when we crossed it with the Jack, but we were open with a little creamy lime, and that's what we're seeing across the board. So I'm about that. So, all right. Did we get care of all the business? We're fixing to get to no question too stupid. We got a whole list of them from last week and this week. I am working toward a mission here, but I want to make sure we take care of everything. Make sure you guys enter the contest. Make sure you guys support Growing Together. And the thing I ask you guys every week, please do us a favor. We're not selling you guys anything. We're raising money. Go out and talk to people. Tell everybody about the WeedNerd live show. Tell them about Growing Together.
Absolutely.
Tell them about Biotactics and tell them about TGA Will. We all support each other in here. So that's one of the things I like. So I think it's about that time, guys. We've got about 15 minutes left for the first part of the show before we do music. And let's get to it. Let's go with no stupid questions. You guys should have a list.
All right. I got a question, actually, I wanted to ask. Andrew, I know a lot of us use like neem as some of our IPMs or products with neem in it, would that disrupt or hurt the beneficial mites or stuff on
Yeah,
it?
any oils, any oil-based products will reduce the effectiveness of the predators. The predators respirate through holes in their pores in their arms and legs, and just like spider mites do. So that's why it's a good, first line of defense. But once they have eggs laid, it's not going to do anything for them, and you're only going to hurt the predators. So once you if you've been spraying neem, and then if you see a mite on the underside of the leaf, that's when you need to start going with predators and stop all oils. Grand Evo, I'm not a Marine Bio salesman, but their products are very good. Like Grand Evo, Venerate, and Regalia, they don't kill the predators, and but they do work on the pests. So when you have bad russet issues, which if you ignore your plant for a few weeks and then russets take hold, you want to hit them with sulfur, and then probably close to a week later introduce predators to control them from then on out. But using Grand Evo or Venerate or Regalias for PM, but it doesn't kill the predators. So you can use them in conjunction, especially with the russets, with how persistent they are.
You tell us a little bit, can you expand on this? Thank you, Malik. So before Jill took over with the predators in her current system, we always just used spinosad. I thought spinosad was a really cool product because, it comes out of a rum barrel, natural, blah, 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 blah. But we actually were using the Captain Jadd's dead bug, and then we stopped. How long before you use beneficials do you want to stop using something like spinosad?
A week is safe, but if you use water to dilute the residue, you can go shorter amounts. But if you use something like spinosad or like Avid or something like that, like after dilution, 3 days minimum.
Okay. Hey, Andrew, yeah, there's another one from the American one. He wanted to know about enzyme products, specifically Dr. Zymes. A lot of people use enzymes to help combat like powdery mildew and stuff like that on a healthier scale than burning sulfur in their rooms.
Yeah.
How does an enzyme, have you tested that at all? How does that react with the mites?
I haven't. So I'm not exactly sure how they would, but I know Met 52 doesn't hurt the predators very much. Just keep the concentrations medium, not heavy. And but honestly, I'm honestly not sure. But if you're going to use an enzyme to combat pests, I think predators would give you your time back, because you're going to have to keep spraying it every time the eggs hatch. So why not let the predators do what they do and eat the eggs, eat the freshly hatched eggs, the nymphs and the adults, and go from there.
I'll tell you, I bring the point of order. So we bought a lot of the Met 52. Met 52 is no longer available, and the Met 52 granular we bought was out of date. The people we bought it from, which is local Biological Solutions here locally, told us that there was nothing wrong with the product; it still worked. We incorporated it into soil using the grains of ricin, and I am not trying to dog anybody out. I'm simply telling you my experiences. But it's like that scene in Spaceballs. We ain't seen shit kill any fucking thing. So either I didn't use it properly, or it was bad because it's an enzyme. But anybody's welcome to chime in. We bought $300 worth of Met 52, and it killed nothing.
I've heard the same things. Interesting.
I got a question from Grandmaster Level Genetics. Grandmaster Level, also go subscribe to Grandmaster Level and Grandmaster Level Genetics. We'll put the link in the chat. But he asks, what is the math per square foot of how many you have to use to guarantee 100% kill on the mites?
The mites, which kind? Broad mites, russet mites, spider mites, they all vary.
Let's go spider mites here. I believe he was referencing to.
Okay, so depending on what your
what's the math on per square foot? How much do you have to use per square foot of the product to guarantee success?
Well, if you tell me how big your plan is, do you tell me the square footage, or do you tell me how high it is also?
Okay, it's at least, let's say 8 foot high, because Grandmaster
8 foot high, and how wide?
Whew. It was spider mites confirmed. Spider mites.
Yeah, it's about.
Let's do a plant my size. Like my
let's just do by square foot.
It's not about square footage. It's about cubic footage. It's about the leaf volume that the predators have to cover. Just like, like you're not gonna tell me how many spider mites you have by the square footage you have.
Okay.
It's about the cubic footage.
Okay.
Do you have a like a target ratio of like mite per leaf that you maybe shoot for?
Well, I know that each predator will eat each female, and ours are 80% female. So there you go. They'll eat 20 to 26 food units, which are either an egg, freshly hatched egg, or an adult per day, while laying 4 to 6 eggs of their own. And then spider mites can only lay 10 to 14 per day. So you want a 2-to-1 ratio to start with, and then to keep them, to fully eradicate, you're probably going to need 2 to 3 applications for, if you have webbing, because it takes time for the predators to rip apart the webbing and get to the eggs on the inside. So I don't know, probably 15 for a 6-foot plant that's 5 feet wide. I would do 1,500 Longipedes and 1,500 Californicus to start with, and then go back with 1,000 of each if you have webbing. That's a heavy infestation. But by that time,
so you guys are welcome. If you'll just take your canopy square footage, cubic footage, and contact Andrew or Dave. Remember, Dave's not here. They'll be glad to give you, estimated that you need and recommend the different types and everything. So
yeah,
and they're pretty easy once they come.
Yeah. And the way it sounds is that the math isn't so simple that there's just a formula they could pass along. It makes it sound like these guys having degrees and so many years of experience hands-on is the key to success in this formula. So
we're actually building a room upstairs. I'm actually looking for some teens or clones that are clean, and I want to get them 3 to 4 feet. And then I want to actually infest them with russets, one with russets, one with broads, and one with spider mites. And then I want to fix that problem so I can get exact release rates.
I wanted to address something real quick, and then we'll move on to the next question. And no stupid questions, but there are a lot of people in the channel talking about essential oils and stuff, rosemary, mint, cinnamon, and stuff like that. And if you use those things and get good results, great. And I'm probably fixing to do what I do and piss some people off. This product that Ed sells, zero tolerance, fuck you, dude. I wouldn't clean my toilet with that shit. It smells fucking horrible. I'm sorry. I don't want garlic and onion oil and shit on my bud. That's just me. I will also say that some of the other products on the market that are, me and my hippie shit, that do that, maybe they work in a small area. Maybe they work if you're really consistent, if you're just like a really anal person and you're just doing everything like you're supposed to be doing. But if you think you can walk into a, say, 12 by 12 room like mine and Jill run with a pump sprayer, tolerance there, and get rid of your bugs, you have lost your fucking mind. It does not work. So I'm not trashing any of the beneficial oils. I'm just telling you on a commercial, large, semi-large to medium scale, one treatment of oils is not going to kill anything. And that's why you see so many people using beneficials like Jill, like me, like Mendo. And, you know, obviously they're not that expensive either, which is kind of another thing that, you know, this stuff doesn't cost millions of dollars. It's kind of a no-brainer. So, all right, you got some more questions for me, Malik?
Yeah, I do. Once they're sold, how long do they last in transit? I mean, is there a... Do they die?
Jose is the guy that actually fills the bottles and feeds the mites, and he knows exactly how many mites we have at any given time. So, and we do overnight shipping only. Our website is a little outdated. We're actually in the middle of completely redoing it. It's taken me a while to write everything that I know about mites on each predator page and how they react to each pest, and have the release rates proper. But we do overnight shipping, and we put them in bottles that are surrounded in styrofoam with foil, and then we put foam on top and then an ice pack on top to cool their metabolism, because you can kind of think of them as cold-blooded. So if you cool them down, they're going to slow down and not move as much. So that's why, like, when you get them, you want to take the ice pack out, let them warm up to room temperature, and then spin the bottles to get an even mixture, and then just go to town by sprinkling them on the leaf to get them like you saw them on the video just now.
You'll love it. The buggy episode. What you got, Malik? We're getting close to the end of the show.
That's about it.
We got time for.
Yeah, you answered everything, man. You've
fucking awesome.
Been
you
rocking.
Guys rock. Yeah, you guys rock. I got a couple of things. I got some rants to go over real quick, so I'm gonna take up about 5 more minutes of your time, and then we will kick over to the after show. If you guys just know me, it is killing me to sit here without music for the 2 hours that we do the first part of the show. For those of you who don't come over to the after show, the lounge, you're missing out. We definitely get deep into some shit on that show. Less structured, just a bunch of being silly. So I'll fire that up in a little bit. I wanted to talk a little bit about what happened to what's going on and what happened to me and Jill this week. So we are a couple of things going on. We are trying to get our property set up to run a business. So we live in a house on 3 acres in a residential area on a mountain. There's 3 big houses, not big houses, 3 big properties. Each property's 3 acres. So I live on a mountain, and there's 3 acres for each of us. Okay. We qualify to grow cannabis in California legally. We live on a piece of land that we can get permitted. So I kind of want to go over everything. So I don't want to whine too much because they said, yeah. So there are certain people like, I don't want to throw any names out there, but there's some friends of mine that live about 20 miles north of here. They're on rural residential, or RR, and they fuck all. They don't qualify for shit. They got 3 hoop houses on their property. They've got indoor green rooms. They got LED bud rooms, breeding rooms, and they can't grow there. Now, everybody in California can grow 6 plants after 2018. But taking that cannabis to a dispensary and selling it is another story. Same thing applies with clones, and the same thing applies with seeds. So unlike a lot of people in going and get a giant warehouse and an industrial park, me and Jill are not to do this. I work very hard to get to where I'm at all my life, and I don't really want to leave my beautiful mountain ranch home where I grow cannabis and drive 40 fucking miles to Crackville every day to a warehouse to do this. So there are things we have to do in order to get legal. And this has nothing to do with cannabis. I want to make sure you understand this is California, and this is American with Disabilities Act, and this is putting a business on a property. So The first thing we have to have here is the water catchment system, because we're in a zone 4 and we don't get a lot of water. And another thing we have to have is ADA parking and a shitter. It's going to cost me about $65,000. So I'm going to spend about $65,000 for septic tank, shitter, bathroom, and wash station, and a place that I probably will never go to the bathroom at, and it doesn't say Tesla. I make a joke. I don't really want a Tesla. But if you're going to spend $65,000, it'd be nice to have something in the driveway to look at, not a toilet behind a door. So we are deciding whether to move forward with that. And then we get to step 1. So step 1 is a Biotactics survey. They want to come out, they want to look at your trees and your animals, and they want to find out what impact your cannabis garden is going to have on it. Well, we've already talked about this and made the joke that the only impact we would have is beneficial, because we have more water on our land, we have more plants, more life. It's just a better thing. So I agreed for $7,500 for this person to come out. Now, there aren't many people, and you have to have a person that's certified by the county to come out. So apparently there was only one person that could come out. And I agreed, and I paid them $7,500. You got that? Roll that off your tongue. Play like it's coming out of your wallet. $7,500. That's 2 units plus. So this hippie-looking person, nice enough, came up to the land. No computer, no surveying equipment, just a big truck with a bunch of, it was a company. Environmental, whatever. It had a California bullshit. It's all certified. So she walked around our land for a little while, and she looked at the trees. She looked at some birds' nests that we have. And maybe 30 minutes, she came back. She had a little piece of weed in her hand with a little yellow flower on it. She goes, well, I got to go to the herbarium and check out what this weed is. And then, maybe whatever. I don't even know what that means yet. And then she fucking left. So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, no, wait a minute. She's here about 25, 30 minutes. That's $15,000 a fucking hour. I don't know anybody that makes $15,000 an hour. So I started getting pissed off about it. And I called this guy who is set up, and he basically said the same thing. He said, well, in a different time of the year, there would be a couple other people to call, but this is the only person to call. And you have to have this before you can move forward. Now I'm just speaking from the heart. Well, now I'm like, fuck all you people. I don't want to pull my wallet out again. I feel like I'm just literally getting fucked. I mean, are you kidding me? $15,000 for fucking some survey for somebody to come out and say, yeah, okay, your oak trees are okay and your birds are fucking happy. So if each step is going to be like this, the powers that be are literally just trying to empty your goddamn check out. And we have a limited amount of money to invest in this project. So the rant, me and Jill are trying to decide whether to spend a couple of $100,000, not quite that much, but upwards of that, which is most. I'm not a rich man. I'm a hustler and I'm a grinder. I grind and I make money every fucking day. Okay. Just like most of the people in this channel. But when the money stops coming in, we ain't rich no more. Right, guys? The same thing applies to me. I'm not a wealthy person, but we've managed to put a little bit away over 8 or 9 years. We've been hustling. I've put some money in the bank, and it'll take every nickel of it to go. Now, here's the things I worry about. Let's say we spend all this and we do all this and we do everything they tell us to do. Well, some motherfucker in the county still has to tell us whether we can grow cannabis here or not. So we can follow all the rules. We can get the toilet and the parking space and the get on the green power and put the generator in and do everything that we're supposed to do. But there's still some son of a bitch that's going to come out here and he's going to say yes or no. And if he says no, you just invested a lot of money into a business. We are trying to decide right now. We're going to a lawyer on Monday again. The other problem with our business is nobody knows shit. I'm a cannabis company that makes seeds, which means I need a nursery permit. So the people that I'm talking to, the legal people, they're all focused on cannabis. Okay. So when they talk to you, they're talking about taking a pound of weed and giving it to a processor, which is what's going to happen in California. Can't drive around with weed anymore. There's going to be like 3 companies total. And they come and buy your shit. So if you have 20 pounds of weed, they come and buy your 20 pounds of weed and they take it to their little factory and they package it and they label it and they do all that good stuff. And then that's how weed's getting sold. There's not really an ordinance for seeds. So they tend to speak in generalizations. They tend to talk about, well, you're going to need a processor. Really? I'm going to need a processor to pack my fucking seeds? You don't know shit about seeds. You will mix the fucking seeds up. Trust me. You want TGA Genetics putting your fucking seeds in the vials, okay? Not some idiot in a building somewhere that knows nothing about anything. So we're trying to figure out whether we get a nursery permit or not. Now, what if I get a nursery permit? Does that mean I can't grow flowers? Being with 4 or 5 people on Monday to ask these people these questions, and this is the part that drives me crazy. They're fucking lawyers, which we all can know what that means. And they're not fucking us. I mean, my cannabis lawyer is one of us. This guy don't smoke weed. He talks about it in the third party. Yeah, my son does those dab things. So this is the fucking people we have asking questions, you know? So we think we have a clear path, but what's going on, if you wonder why I look stressed out all the fucking time, it's because right now, currently, every night when I go to bed, I have a giant jigsaw puzzle in front of me. And it's real life-changing decisions. It's like spend all the motherfucking money you have put away for your health and your family on this adventure, or and see what happens. That's not really an option. So just like all of you guys, we're all facing some stuff, but specifically TGA Genetics, because it's been around for 17 years. We are known everywhere, dude. We're like fucking Arm and Hammer, but we technically don't even exist. It's fucking crazy, right? So for the time being, TGA Will sitting right there in the channel, smoking a bowl, lickety split. You need TGA Genetics. You want promotions, and also just customer service. This guy takes care of you. If you can't get in touch with me, and he'll take care of you guys. So, what about growing together? We got any more business to take care of tonight, guys?
Just want to say thank you to everybody for the donations. We have actually raised almost $1,400 for Jayda, and you know,
so amazing.
Dude, that's phenomenal. So I will get a money order this week. I'm gonna get a money order this week and send these directly to you.
Absolutely,
okay.
That'd be great. Thank you.
If you got,
awesome.
let me say,
I just want to also let everybody know, anyone who donated tonight is a pack of hemp cards. So make sure you leave the address when you submit the donation, and then also anybody who donated over the amount set on the webpage, I think it was 10 or 15 bucks for donation, is going to receive a link in their email tomorrow morning. It's going to take you to the Gleam giveaway. That's for a $60 voucher this week for Blue Planet Nutrients. And Malik, what else did we have?
We have another prize pack from Blue Planet themselves after this one, but this one is a $60 voucher that a WeedNerd reached out to me, Brian, and Bullet696 is his Gmail. And very cool dude. He said I could shout him out, and thank you, Brian.
That's awesome. Hey, Malik, put up that link for Jayda real quick before we got to sign out here. The GoFundMe link. So please grab this link when it comes up in the channel. Share it on your Facebook. Share it on your social media. One things I've learned is the collateral we can do here. Just read from Expert Joints, we're up over $10,000 for her. Amazing. But, you know, after the show's over, maybe we can share that link and maybe somebody put $20 directly in a GoFundMe. So WeedNerd Nation, you guys help out. Let's help this person in need. One other thing that the guys wanted me to do, and again, Minnesota, nice. Thank your wife, Malik, Sid, everybody behind the scenes. Saturdays, I get up, I grind, I do my thing, and in the afternoon, this comes to me. This is a lot of work, and I wanted you guys to know that I don't take it lightly. If I was to have to sit down and do this, it wouldn't get done. Thank you guys so much. And another new one coming right here at the end of the show tonight. Would you like to join our expert panel? You need to email Malik. He can pop up his email in here. It's complicated. Spydr of Michigan. And tell us what you'll bring to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Don't forget to include your links. We want more guests. We want to spread information. If you have a small business and you're not too much of a huckster and you want to get in here and talk about something that can benefit us as well as yourself, we welcome you. We welcome experts. We've learned so much on this panel. You know, we have so many cool guests now. We have like Andrew's now. Andrew's like our resident bug guy. We got Tyler, our resident bulb guy. We got the soil guys. It's just really cool how we've built this little organization for somebody to come around once a week. By the way, thank you, Dabby Jr. 710 to the WeedNerd Fund. And I think that is going to wrap it up. It's out, Minnesota Nice. I will see you guys over about 15 minutes playing some soul tonight and smoking some dabs. So.
Man, sir, what's up?
Love you guys. Have a great night.
Let's dab it out, boys.
Yeah. I don't have any dabs, but I'm gonna do
Old Eve, the planter of the trees. And Marlon Asher, the ganja farm.
It's Marlon Asher alongside me.
Now this sound. Yo.
I love the ganja more and
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Biotactics.
every day. I love the ganja more and more.
Thank you, everybody. I'm out.
Thanks, Andrew. We appreciate it. Thanks, brother. Thanks, Froggy D.
You're awesome, man.
Will.
Everyone got their own thing.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. It's a great show tonight. Thanks for tuning in. WeedNerd Live Show.
Well, thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Quest. Thanks, pal.
Come hang out at the lounge.
Each and every day. Oh, I love the ganja more and more.
I love it.
Each and every day.
Come plant a seed and give it water to let them grow. I'm from the hills of Mendocino, the best to smoke. Visca's in my hand, I trim my weed and don't mess with coke. And I mix my ganja butter in the pot. And I watch them comet choppers fly over my crop. As I light my backwood blunt right on the mountain top. And then I say,
pass it around. Say good ganja man and a fool and a farm. Good sense I made that where we sow and the ring. Yes, we pass the ganja on the street. We see
See you guys over in the lounge. Have a dank day.
the